Alright, what's going on, everybody? It's Andrew with Blessings Lawn back in the shop with you here today. So today's project is back on the brush hog here. We're going to get that sprayed today. I'm going to get all this equipment moved out, and these vehicles that are outside, you can't see out there, but out there, moved out of the way so we don't get overspray all over them. I'm going to do that now, and then I'll be back with you. We're going to get the paint mixed up. I'm going to show you how to do that today, what kind of paint we're going to use and how we're going to do that. We're going to get that on camera, and I can show you how to mix up the paint we're going to use. So if that sounds like fun, stick around. Let's get into the video. And yeah, hit that subscribe button if you like this content. Share with your... I don't know what happened there. The GoPro shut off. But what I was saying is hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Share with your friends if they enjoy this kind of content too. Alright, let's get into the video. So this is the paint we're going to be shooting today. This is Exo Rust. This is available at your farm stores and whatnot. This is basically the same thing as Rust-Oleum. This works with any oil-based enamel. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to be reducing this with either acetone or mineral spirits based on the outside temperature and relative humidity. I'll get into that a little bit, but not too in depth. And then we're going to add a catalyst hardener to this as well. And that just makes the paint dry a little faster, a little shinier, and a little bit harder overall after it cures. So basically, if it's colder and higher humidity out, you want to use acetone. If it's warmer and you don't want the paint to dry as quickly and it's low humidity, you want to use mineral spirits. That's basically as much as I'm going to get into that. There's all sorts of different thinners that you can use, but these are the two that I prefer to use based on the temperature and humidity outside. So if you read the back of these cans here, they will tell you, they want you to use their Exo Rust Reducer, and they say 1 pint per gallon. It's basically just acetone. That's what I like to use, or mineral spirits like we just discussed. And they also say on here, for a harder, higher gloss finish and fast dry time, add ½ pint of catalyst hardener per gallon. This is a ½ pint here. I basically do a ratio of 5 parts paint, 2 part reducer, to 1/3 part catalyst hardener. So that would be 5 ounces of paint, 2 ounces of reducer, 1/3 ounce of catalyst hardener. That's the ratio I like to use. Today we have a relatively low temperature, so I'm going to be using acetone today. So we'll set that aside. These are the 3 ingredients we'll be pouring in there today. Mix up. I will show you how we do that. You're going to want to get yourself some mixing cups. These help out tremendously. So you will want some of those. You will also want filters, which I have to go grab from inside. When I get them, we'll explain that. Alright, you're going to want to use one of these strainers as well. These can save you a lot of headaches. These particular ones are made by Trimico. But you can get these at Sherwin-Williams, Harbor Freight, pretty much any paint store. A lot of times if you buy paint there, they'll even give you some. But definitely use these. They save you headaches. Alright, let's go over the gun options that we have to spray with next. So these are the 3 different guns that I have here. So I have a high volume, low pressure here. This is what you're probably going to see most typically anymore in today's world. These are good for shooting your base coat, clear coat type of paints. They're not going to spray stuff that's super thick unless you have a bigger tip. This is a 1.4 millimeter tip on here. So basically the way that these work is this screw here is going to adjust the amount of fluid coming out, the amount of paint. So as you pull this in, pull your trigger in here, you'll notice that the more you unscrew this, the farther the trigger will depress, and vice versa. You screw it in, the trigger is not going to depress as far. You'll notice that in all of these guns, these are two-stage trigger. So the first half that you pull here is just going to give you air. The second half will give you air and fluid. As you become more proficient with painting, as you finish your pass and fan out, you'll want to cut the fluid, but let the air continue to fan fade the paint into the next part you're going to paint, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This style here adjusts the fan if you want a tight stream or a wider fan. And then this adjustment here at the bottom is going to be your air regulator, how much air is coming out of the gun. Like I said before, this is a 1.4 millimeter tip here. Paint and product will go in here. Pretty self-explanatory how these work. Next we have here, this is a siphon feed gun. These were more common back in the day. These were the old school type of guns. I like to use this for shooting thicker paints and primer. I actually prefer to shoot these Exo Rust and these Rust-Oleum type products with a gun like this versus the HVLP. That's just me. I like to shoot these with base coat, clear coat, with cars and stuff like that. Pretty much the same type of thing here. This is going to adjust your fluid amount. This also has the two-stage trigger on it. This adjustment up here is your fan versus your tight cone to fan out. And then this here is your air pressure adjustment down here. This sucks the paint out of the can via Venturi. As the air comes over the nozzle, it draws the paint up here. I just think they work a little bit better for shooting thicker paint. But that's probably also because I have a 1.7 millimeter tip on this gun. And third and final here, this is also a suction type gun. This is a touch-up gun here. So as it's described, it is just for touching up little projects, just a little project gun. It works the same way. You got your air and your fluid nozzle up here. This is going to adjust how much fluid's coming out. This is going to adjust your fan. This nozzle here adjusts the fan. And this particular gun does not have an air pressure adjustment on here. You have to adjust that with a regulator. Disassembly of all the guns, the nozzle is pretty much the same. Nozzles unscrew. Your needle's going to come out of all these guns pretty much the same. You're going to completely remove your fluid adjustment knob. You'll have a spring. And this one's rather stuck in there at the moment. And then your needle will come out. Same thing on reassembly. Needle goes in, spring goes in. Fluid adjustment knob goes in. So we're going to set aside this HVLP here and the touch-up gun. We're going to shoot with the siphon feed today. Two other pieces of gear I recommend. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but There's a respirator, charcoal filters, and some safety glasses. Use the appropriate clothing to paint. Once these solvents opened up, I'm going to put this on just to be on the safe side, because this stuff does smell incredibly bad and has a lot of VOCs in it. And you can see me from just spraying one thing before, how black those filters are. I was spraying black last time. Alright, there we go. Got the respirator on. You guys aren't going to be able to hear me much anymore. When we start shooting, the glasses will go on. And, yeah, that'll be the setup for that. Gotta keep yourself safe doing this stuff, so. I like to put a little cardboard down here as well. Just kind of keep you from making as much of a mess. Oh, and then I go dropping it off the back of my table here. Anyway. Alright, let's get set up here. These are also a nice thing to put on if you're shooting paint. A little air dryer right here at your gun. Just another step to ensure dry air. Okay. So the cup I'm going to be mixing in here today. Exo Rust. If you're buying this at the store and they have a shaker, have them put it on the shaker for you. I'm going to go grab a paint can opener and we're going to open that up. No turning back now, folks. Alright, we're gonna mix this up. Decided to go with Komodo orange on these, so. That's what the wife wanted to use. I think it'll look pretty good. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix up 3 parts. So I'm gonna put 15 ounces in here of paint. If you don't have any of these too, these are like old Gatorade scoops or something. These come in handy sometimes. There's some rubber gloves. So you don't end up with paint all over you. Really don't even want to pour it. I'm just going to scoop it. I hate making a mess all over these cans. You'd think that we would have come up with a better system by now. Alright, we got about 15 ounces in there. Alright, and now we're going to put in our acetone. We're going to put in 6 ounces. So this will take us up to 21. And now I want 1 ounce of catalyst hardener. $22 there. Alright, that looks thoroughly mixed to me. You know the saying, 90% of problems happen on the mixing table, so take your time, do this part right, and your results will show on your prep job over there. Alright, a couple more things here. I use this additional light. I have tarps down on the floor to try to keep some of the overspray off the ground here. And what I also do is I pop this door and turn this fan on and suck as much fumes as I can out of here while I'm painting. Just like that, so. Gonna put our filter in. I like to scrape off the numbers like that too, so if I have to mix up another batch. Alright, we're going to use this as our test piece here. I'm going to spray our pattern onto here and see what we get. is less than ideal, guys. For some reason our power just went out and I'm mid-painting this here, so that's not good. And the generator that I have won't run my big air compressor, so now got this set up, plumbed in over there, and this is the only light that I have here, so yeah, I guess this is what we're gonna deal with for spraying the rest of it. Alright, let's get it done. Always something, ain't it? Always something. Alright, let's do it. Alright, I don't know what you guys ended up seeing. I kind of got thrown out of rhythm there with the power going out. It's still out. I got it sprayed here kind of in the dark in the shop here, so did the best I could. Hopefully it turned out alright. It's really windy out, so I didn't want to open the door and then just have everything blow away. I had to use that little air compressor that I have because my generator's not running that big one over there. But yeah, I think it came alright, I guess. I mean, for what it is, it's a brush hog. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I think it looks pretty good. For what it is, anyway. So we're gonna let this dry here, and then we'll get her put back together. But that's gonna be the end of the video here today because we have no power, so I'm heading out. I'm gonna head out and go do something else. Alright, I appreciate everyone watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this content. Share with your friends if you think they'd enjoy it too. Hit the like button if you like this. If not, hit thumbs down. Alright, let's go work on something else. See you guys in the next one.